This is the Night Owls Disco Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
And we are doing it old school.
Old school as in like before January.
Yeah.
Or early January.
Exactly. So the old guys are back at the helm, and we decided to just break out the pod tracker again.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, I agree. So it's getting back used to like hearing my voice directly and immediately instead of with there's no delay.
No, yeah. It's so funny because even though, Shane and I literally still record across the room. I'm just using his internet and everything. And I can hear him talk. And then it's kind of like an echo because it comes over the headphones and over the internet towards me. I was like, well, I could respond to Shane, but it's not directly coming through. So it's just super awkward. But this, coming through the pod tracker, I can't hear myself at all.
No, yeah, it's kind of nice though. Actually,
it's so funny.
So yeah, I'll play with levels here and volumes, but we'll get it back to where it was. I'm just trying to remember all the settings we had, but
sevens.
I think that's what I remember seeing too. Remember. So I think that's where we're at. I think I had.
We haven't used it in so long. I can't believe that everything's just not the same.
Yeah, but I've had like kids parties up here and stuff.
Okay.
So who knows? So, all right. Well, so back at it, another episode. So Ben is not here. I'll explain that real quick. He's doing an interview with somebody, and we're going to do something a little different than we normally do with interviews. So when we have interviews or individuals that we want to talk to, normally we're all on there and we're just like scrambling for who's going to talk and who's going to dominate the conversation. It just ends up being awkward. And I think what happens is we end up losing some good information there at times. So what we propose and what we're doing now is that one of us is going to interview people now from now on. So we'll pick whoever's going to interview people. And then what we'll do is we will have kind of a reaction on the episode. So next week's episode will be a interview, and I'll introduce a person in a minute here. It will be an interview that Ben will do, and then JP and I will have reaction to what the interview was. And then down the road, one of us will talk with, whoever. And then we'll do the same thing because I know we want to get the guy from Goliath on. So we'll do the same thing. One of us will take that interview, and then we'll have a reaction to it. So little different format. It was on a leadership podcast I used to listen to by Mike Michalowicz. And that's where I got it from. I was trying to remember where it was. But now I remember. He doesn't do the podcast anymore, but I really enjoyed his interview style.
Interesting.
Because then he had his crew just kind of riff back and forth on what was said.
I like having that kind of round table discussion at the end. That's interesting.
Yeah. So that's what to look forward to next week. But this week, you still get to hear our sweet voices. So here's all our social media. Store_disc_golf. Night_owl_pod. And then doordisc.com. And also YouTube. We're putting stuff on YouTube still. And we should be putting actually more disc golf content rather than podcast content here pretty soon. And then keep an eye out for the next couple weeks. Casual Relief will still be on our RSS, so on this feed that you're listening to now, but they will be transitioning to their own feed. So still, everything's still fine. We're still a Door Disc podcast. We're still going to be, cross promoting. Everything's good that way. But they're going to go onto their own feed. So you'll have to find them and subscribe to them individually. Because I feel like we're just like really hammering you guys with so much content that it's just splitting you guys up. And plus, we can control quality a little bit better this way by having these separate podcasts, and we can really kind of, make sure that we're going to be. Oh, you got the puzzled look on your face.
Oh, no, I was just looking up. No, we're fine.
Okay.
All
so
good.
Then, so that's what it'll be. So, how do you feel about a zombie apocalypse?
Ooh.
Since we're not going to have a random question, I figured my thought-provoking question would be a random question at the same time.
Yeah. Feels like something that we've been preparing for quite a while.
Oh, so you're a prepper?
No, I'm not a prepper. Oh, okay. But very well. COVID almost felt like one of those situations where it's like, what's going to happen? Like everybody's got it, and but everybody's staying home. Nobody's like
exactly
coming out.
It's the closest we've come.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. In just the way, I used to watch The Walking Dead all the time, and a bunch of other, zombie movies like 28 Days Later, 28 Months Later, those kind of movies.
World War Z, Z Nation.
There's another movie that came out kind of recently. It was a Netflix movie where there's a bank heist that happens in Vegas, but Vegas is overrun by all these zombies.
Yes.
It's got Dave Bautista in it. I don't remember what it's called.
It's good though.
Yeah, it's pretty gory.
Mm-hmm.
I think James Gunn, is that like the guy that does Dark Guardians of the Galaxy?
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that directed it or produced it or something. So
Yeah.
it's kind of over the top and ridiculous, but like
Absolutely.
fun.
What was that called?
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It seems like there's the CDC a while ago, like maybe a couple of years ago, put something out there like it could actually happen, and they're like prepping for it.
That's one of their concerns. It was, what is there, like the list of the top 10 things that they're prepping for?
Yeah, something like that.
I remember that.
And zombie apocalypse. But all I can think about are, like how who's gonna survive? How are we gonna survive?
Exactly.
And then like, if I were ever get chased down by one, what would happen?
Right. Well, and what,
Or is it gonna be the slow zombies, or is it gonna be like the fast zombies that we have to worry
exactly what version of zombie
about?
are we going to get?
And I remember.
Or are we going to get the intelligent one, the like I Am Legend intelligent ones?
Yeah,
that would be scary.
That would be scary. And so I actually bought a book. I forgot what it's called. It was something about zombies, and it was like, oh yeah, take the high ground. Like it was just like something
like a survival guide.
Yeah. It's meant to be as a joke, but there's definitely some elements to it that you'd be like, oh yeah, I could totally see that.
Exactly. So water makes sense.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So I asked that question because you know what an EDC is, or like your EDC. So that's what you carry every day. It's your everyday carry is what they call it.
Yeah.
So now that's more for like guns and things like that. That's what they kind of use it for. But with the zombie apocalypse, and you go to bug out, like do whatever you're gonna do, what's gonna be your disc golf EDC?
Oh, disc golf EDC.
Well, yeah, because I mean, zombie apocalypse, like, be real, you're still going to play disc golf, right?
Yeah.
So
I feel like you'd have to have a quick stick, because I feel like that could be a weapon along. I mean, it's
in
not.
the eye.
Yeah, right. You're not bashing any zombie brains in with one of those. Obviously, discs, water, dry sack. I don't know, because you gotta. I mean, if you gotta keep a zombie off you, gotta keep your hands dry to like hold on to stuff.
Yeah.
The bag.
Okay.
I think because the bag is definitely more zombie, like get up and go friendly than a cart.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. Just trying to roll a cart over and stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Especially if you're like on highways and there's all the wrecked cars and damaged stuff
Yep.
and everything, like you're not gonna be able to roll a cart.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a bag is the right way to go.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd carry a full bag.
No. Well, you got to have like a section for like stuff that you find.
Right.
Too,
I think that's exactly like, I have the Grip BX3. So not the biggest one.
So the medium one.
Medium one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like if I had an AX5, you could just dump stuff in. And Matt just got that sweet Squatch Calvin bag. And that thing is huge. Like it's got the cooler, like
it's massive.
Big pockets. I feel like you could carry a lot of stuff in there.
I mean, the AX5 is big, but some of those Squatch backs are massive. And I think that would be the right choice in that guard. I mean, because, you want to carry, 40, 50 pounds? You don't want to carry 100 pounds.
Right.
I mean, you can't be carrying these huge bags. But I think, like, the AX5, I think that'd be the appropriate EDC.
And I think he said it's fairly lightweight, the Squatch bag. I don't know how heavy the AX5 is or whatever, but I wouldn't want to haul around like one of the Ricky Raptor bags or like a Ridge Roller bag. They're
so heavy.
Yeah.
They're so, the one that might be good, and I don't know if they make them anymore, is the Ranger H2O.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that had the built-in camel pack?
Yep.
And I know it didn't get good reviews because the straw like hung on the sleeve, so every time you put it down, it'd be in the mud.
Yeah.
It was kind of a nightmare in that regard. But
right.
that would probably be a good like EDC bug out bag, for like an apocalypse.
Yeah.
And what I would say is I have a old Wizard training discs. It's like the 300-gram Wizards.
Okay.
Probably take that too, because that could be a fairly good weapon.
Sure.
I mean, nice big blunt object to
The
throw.
only thing is if you're throwing it into a group, it's gone. Like there's no getting it back.
True. But you're hoping out on the disc golf course it's just one or two zombies here and there, right?
Yeah.
So, Yeah, I think that. And then what's another ridiculous? Like the Rask would be, I feel like it would be a pretty good disc
Right.
to throw at something.
A tilt.
Yes, a tilt. Yes, yes. That would, oh man. So I'm trying to think of like what's a daily object that we carry around in our bags that would be perfect for the apocalypse? Well, toilet paper. I used to carry toilet paper around.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I have towels,
Towels, things like that. 'Cause
Yeah.
then, you know,
hand sanitizer.
when business happens, it happens. And hopefully you still have the granola bars and all the little candy snacks that you
Yeah.
can keep in there.
Yeah.
So, all right, yeah, that's what I figured. I just figured if we're prepping for a zombie apocalypse, like what would be the disc golf accoutrement that you would keep?
What disc golfer would be best equipped to survive the zombie apocalypse? Who do you think?
Good question. Good question. This is kind of like a Monday nonsense
It
episode,
is.
too.
Mixed
so
in,
I like
yeah.
it, yeah. Best equipped. You know, a lot of disc golfers would be really well equipped because they're already in their mobile vehicles.
Yeah.
Like,
But, if things start breaking down, like on the highways and things, they're going to get stuck.
who's the guy that can fix it?
Yeah.
Who's the car guy?
Gibson.
Gibson.
Paul's kind of.
Yeah, Paul's a car guy. I think he's more like he likes cars. I don't know.
Yeah,
if he works on
I don't know if he
cars.
works on cars.
Yeah, he's the guy that buys cars, not fixes them.
Yeah. Could you imagine like someone like Dickerson or Paul with their huge tour bus, like getting stuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem with the big tour buses is there's no mobility there.
Right.
There's somebody on tour that has one of those like lifted Econoline vans, like the big E series.
Sure.
It was at Vegas and it was beautiful. Like I walked around it a couple times. I don't remember who it was though. That would be a person that I would probably shut up, Siri.
I was just thinking about you bringing up the vans, and it wasn't. Was it this past weekend or the tournament before when everybody was getting stuck in the mud at the tournament?
Yes.
You just see like these
And they were
big
just like flat ground and they were still getting stuck.
yeah.
Yes.
There was heavy rain, like, but just
it was at Tennessee. It was a music.
That's
City.
what it was. Yeah.
It was at Music City. So, oh wait, hold on. Hey Alexa, put Night Owl's Disc Golf podcast on my list of plays. Do you think that'll work?
Okay.
Yeah, it was just like for the people at home. I was just doing a service for them.
Oh,
Their
nice.
Alexa will pick it up. Should we do it for Google too?
It's kind of like, so have you ever seen the videos of people playing Xbox or like competitively?
And they say, Alexa,
And they're
turn
like,
off the
hey,
Xbox.
turn off. And then they're like, do. And then all of a sudden it like pops up on the screen and it actually, they're like, I think it worked.
Yes, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that. So, all right. What would you buy? Thrower, hanger, flipper?
Oh man, I bought a ton of stuff this week, actually.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Do I know about any of it?
I don't know.
All right.
If you follow my Instagram, you might.
I did. I saw some of it. Okay. Did you
So-
buy one of the Vapor Lux?
No. Vapor
Cloud
what?
Breaker?
No, I
Vapor
didn't.
Lux links? Okay.
No. Or it was a Enigma, and I'm not a big fan of the.
Oh, you got the Enigma?
No, that's what the April Jewels was.
They're links.
I thought they were Enigmas.
The ones we have are links. The ones that are Cloud Breaker stamped, they're links.
Okay, because I heard that they were coming out with Cloudbreaker Enigmas as well.
Oh, they might. We didn't get those.
Okay.
We got the links in.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, I bought a Lone Star X Out mystery box, so 5 discs, and I got a Founders Lariat,
Ooh, good choice.
a V2 Bull Snake, a Benny, Alpha Benny, a Lima Tombstone, and what was the other disc? Or was that 5?
No, that was 4.
What else?
But let's get real on the Benny.
Yeah,
Is it a judge?
it's close.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I think we've talked about it a little bit. Numbers are 3402, and it's got a bead on the bottom
Yeah.
because obviously it's the beaded penny punter.
Yep. Is it deeper or is it?
It, I felt it, and I haven't actually felt like a judge in a while. I didn't go down in the basement and check it out at all, but it could be close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm interested. I really am interested. Like I like Lone Star. I like what they do. I like.
Yeah. And then,
Maybe.
I got an Alpha Nimitz. That was the other one.
Okay.
And it's got this sweet, it was double stamped, and it had a Flight Club Open stamp, which was a Flex Tier or something. I think that.
That like Nico ran. Yeah.
But it hasn't ran yet. It's supposed to be.
Okay.
And I think the tournament actually got canceled from what I've heard.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah. So I've got
Due
this.
to turnout or what?
I don't know. It's supposed. I think it was supposed to happen this coming weekend.
Oh,
Or
okay.
the same next weekend, same weekend as Clash at the Creek.
Oh, sure.
And so it says 4:30, 23 on. I was like, oh, this is interesting. It hasn't happened yet. And
Jeez.
I think I saw online that it's not actually going to happen.
Oh, that sucks.
But yeah, so that was exciting. I was hoping to get a copperhead, but I previously bought two at Tour Disc. So I got a V2 and a V1, Victor 1, Victor 2 copperheads, just because I was, just kind of curious, if I was going to build a Lone Star bag, if I really wanted to, what kind of putt and approach disc would I want? I was like, oh, copperhead seems like it would be a decent disc. It's a little more glidey than I thought it would be. And it's not as overstable as I thought. So I was
pretty straight then.
It is. It was very straight.
Is it like maiden straight or is it like pure straight?
No. It's got more finish than those. But the thumb track isn't as deep as I thought.
Okay.
So if you're a rhino thrower or something like that, not as overstable.
So the OG slammers.
Yeah.
Okay. So
kind of
nice and straight.
Right.
Okay.
And so I think the disc, now that I have one.
Or the Caltrip. Because that was super straight. It wasn't as stable as the...
I mean, the numbers on it are
super
3402.
Okay.
And when I got out and threw it, I was like, oh, maybe it'll be dumpy. I brought out my Jawbreaker Zone. I brought out my Crystal Flex Zone that I keep in. That's what I bag. I was like, how are these going to fly? And they honestly threw pretty similar. Like, the Zone is 4303, but the glide on the Copperhead was just like a tad.
That's good.
Tad longer.
That's good.
And I think a disc that maybe the Bull Snake will be that harpish, zone-ish kind of disc, just to check it out. Unless they come up with something even more along the same lines as the Zone. But
yeah,
who knows if they will or not.
Yeah.
But I did genuinely like throwing the disc. I could rip on it. It was fairly torque resistant, and if you're in the mood, it's just it's a putter. It's not but you could probably use it as an approach disc.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have a torque resistant putter. I mean, it's nice to get something that you can just kind of rip on and it's not going to fall over.
Right.
And so it is nice. And especially if you're trying to learn to throw putters, I would suggest going out, not buying an overstable Cenis or something like that.
Right.
Go buy something that's stable-ish, because then it's a little bit more resistant and you can throw them and learn. And
Proxy.
Proxy is good. Yeah. Yep.
Pure, like you said, something like that. Yeah.
So I did not buy anything. I Googled over the links, those Vapor Lux links, the Vapor Jewels, and then I we have the Stig.
Yeah.
I really want to get one of those Stigs, but we only have 7 of them.
And they'll be out by the time this comes out, right? They're supposed to drop tomorrow.
They drop tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. So, and I know that Kevin's like, I'm going to come down, make them active, and buy some right away. So, but that's also when the Grim X and the CAC Z in the final run comes out. So, and those are beautiful discs. We only have 3 of each of those. So I'm assuming those are all going to go right away. Sorry for snapping right next to the mic. So, yeah, so I'm excited about it. But yeah, so I didn't buy any of those. So hopefully I'm going to get one of the Stigs. But if not, if you guys get them, awesome. But DoorDisc.com is where you can find them. All right, so here's our preview. We're going to talk about Disc Barn and Hooligan Discs and the interview. So I've already hinted to that already. Blue Ridge Championships, we'll go over the results. We'll pick our champions for the Champions Cups.
Yeah.
I guess that's the best way to say it.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
And then we'll talk about world number 1. There is a new kind of maybe controversial world number 1.
Maybe.
And then we'll talk Paige being injured, Pierce being injured. And we'll do some shop updates. And we don't have a random question because we already kind of talked our zombie apocalypse. And then I'll give you the peace out. Girl Scouts. Or Boy Scouts, I guess. Are they Boy Scouts? They're Boy Scouts.
They're still Boy Scouts.
Okay. They're not just Scouts. Didn't they change their name to just Scouts now? Who knows?
Could be.
All right.
Being more inclusive. Who knows?
Yeah. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. As long as they learn how to tie knots and start fires and all the like do clothes. Do
Yeah.
you do that stuff? Like, or make clothes and stuff like that? I was never a Boy Scout, so I don't know.
I don't remember like a badge for that at all.
Okay. Were you a Boy Scout?
For a short
Very
time,
nice, very nice.
a couple of years.
Do you still have like your sash with the badges and all that stuff?
It might be my mom probably still has it.
Oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
with like the hair and the teeth and all that stuff.
No, I mean it was like when you'd rank up, you get like a different color scarf and like
No.
like
I was talking about like your mom keeping like your first haircut and your teeth.
that kind of stuff. Yeah, maybe.
So
Right.
here's a question. No, I'm not going to ask it because your kids listen to this.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ask it.
Yeah.
All right. I'll ask you afterwards.
Right.
All right. So let's talk about Garrett. So Garrett is from Hooligan Disc, also the Disc Barn. Recently started a business in disc golf. Well, recently, like as recently as we did. I think he was 2020, the year of, or maybe 2019. No, it was 2020. Is kind of his whole thing and how it went.
I watched that. So he has a video out explaining his how the disc barn started and everything. And I watched it last night, but I was kind of like half asleep when I started watching it a little bit. So I made it through, and I fell asleep. And all of a sudden, I woke up. I was like, all these random like in the bags for people from the disc barn that are sponsored by them were playing.
Yep.
I was like, how did I get down this rabbit hole? I was like, It's just the playlist, everything.
Yep.
Else. But
Well, and he mentioned Carolyn Henderson in it, and I'm like, oh, isn't she on Prodigy now? Didn't she just sign with Prodigy?
Yeah.
Okay.
she did, and so she's got a weird thing where it's like 6 months to like try stuff out. Apparently,
Really?
yeah. Like there's some kind of leeway where they're giving her 6 months to like figure
Yeah.
things out. I don't know if she's put a in the bag out or anything like that recently, or explained what
Man, stay
she's
away.
been doing. She did an interview with Trevor.
Okay, yeah, Trevor
And
Staub.
yeah, and so she was on there, and then that's where she made her announcement for Prodigy.
Okay.
So she was talking about, I think, what she was putting with, and
Yeah.
because I think she was using Prodigy putters before she would even made the switch. I think she was putting with like PA4s or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man.
So the young lady that used to wear all purple, like all of her discs were purple, everything was purple.
Oh,
Prodigy.
yeah, Heather Young.
Heather Young. Okay. See, for some reason I was thinking Julia something, but so Heather Young. So complete conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Do you think Heather Young wanted to change teams and then Prodigy said, we'll sue you? And so she just said, I'm not playing anymore. I'm done. This is ridiculous.
Wow. Man, going the Gannon route early.
Yeah. Maybe she was the Gannon before Gannon.
Maybe.
And she just decided, I'm out. I'm done. Then I'm just not going to play.
Well, I know like she claimed that, like it was a lot of stress for her, and like she couldn't decide if she wanted to, I think maybe go to school or like finish up.
Yeah,
going
just
that way.
live a normal
but
life, I think she
maybe
said.
contract was coming up or something. I don't know. That's a fun conspiracy to kind of think about.
Because I think we'd have to go back and look to see how long her contract is. Because wouldn't it be funny if it was like a 2 or 3 year contract and it's just about up, and then all of a sudden she pops back on the
Oh my
scene?
gosh, she's like, I'm good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm going to come back. I've
Oh
lived
man,
my life.
that would be something. That would be spicy.
Yeah, it would be. It'd be pretty cool though. So I'm happy for Carolyn Henderson. We'll get back to Garrett here, but I'm happy for Carolyn Henderson. Like Caroline. I think that's awesome, and that it's a weird situation, like 6 months testing and all that stuff. So back to Garrett. Garrett is kind of just a young entrepreneur. Like, and when I say young, I mean he's probably in his 30s, like mid-30s, I think is what he mentioned.
Yeah, and I think he was working a full-time job, but he wanted to like create extra income for his family, and then that ended up turning into something more.
Even more, yep.
Yeah, so
So then he started Hooligan Discs shortly after that, and then he had just some great, and then they were molded by Lone Star Disc.
Yep.
And so that obviously happened very recently because Lone Star Disc has only been 18 months, 20 months, something like that. So a little less than 2. Well, it might be just about 2 years now that they released their first discs.
yeah, that could be.
So, that's been a pretty short time, but he's plans on coming out with a few more, but we'll find out in the interview, and then we'll have a good discussion about it.
Exactly.
But that's what we're going to do. So we're going to find out about this Disc Barn, and there's some questions that Ben is going to go through, and I'm sure they went off on other tangents as well. So here's some more stuff. And then he has Hooligan Disc will talk about that, and then we'll just sit down. JP and I will sit down and just have a conversation about what it was. And I think Ben will not be joining us for that portion.
Right.
So
He mentioned that that's the week of Clash of the Creek, and he wants to get that squared away because it's really only 3 days from when we would record next week to kind of finalize all the details and everything, get everything set up.
Right. Yeah. So we'll do that. So that'll be next week. But yeah, I'm excited to hear what Garrett had to say. And the interview is done, so I think I'll probably even watch that tonight while I'm laying in bed.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
And then start talking about what happened. So, but with that being said, we'll go on to our Blue Ridge Championship results. So Burr and Tatar won, are our winners. No spoilers in live sports. Plus, it's been everywhere. You can't miss it.
You can't miss it.
So Burr shot an 18 down. It was so pretty impressive. Won $3,200, $3,250, and he had. He just played clean. There wasn't a lot of big mistakes from the little bit that I saw, and then it was Bradley Williams, Kyle Klein, Calvin Heimberg,
and Klein was winning after the first round. I think he was up 7 down.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was him, and even Tatar was like 7 down, I think, through it. And there wasn't anybody, like, the closest competitor was 6 strokes behind her.
Yeah, Kristen shot the hot round every round.
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah, there was no
wire to wire.
Wire to wire, yeah.
It was great. So, and then Isaac Robinson round out the top 5. Honorable mentions, we'll look at Ricky Wysocki after his whole thing, and we were very concerned about it and all that stuff. He ended up coming in 6th, so just outside of the top 5. My hopeful pick of Matteo is in 24th, unfortunately. And then I don't remember who you guys, because I think one of you guys picked Dickerson.
I thought so. I think Ben and I both picked Calvin to win, and he placed 4th. So this is his first non-podium finish of the season. I mean, it's a silver event, so he still has the streak going for Elite Series and possibly majors if he finishes on the podium. Yep. And then Kristen, this is her 3rd win in 5 starts.
Yeah.
That's hotter than she started last year.
Right. Yeah. So she falls off the podium for the first time in a long time since she played. She never been on a podium on the Pro Tour on Pro Tour. What was it? Elite Series.
Elite Series.
On Elites. Yeah. Never not been on a podium since she basically been playing, and then goes all of a sudden playing. So, and something to keep in mind. So she is 987 rated.
Yeah.
Okay? Every single one of her rounds except for one was over 1,000 rated. So
this
her
season
last
so far?
round, no, just her last. Just
okay, got it.
Her last round was 990.
Yep.
So ratings don't matter, but they matter once a woman is going to hit that 1,000 rated. The first one to hit it, that's going to be a big milestone.
That is. It was not that long ago that we were talking about Paige hitting that milestone.
Yeah. And now she's. I don't think she. Where did she finish? She finished pretty far down.
She didn't play this event.
Oh, this is for the next one, for Champions Cup. She's playing.
She's playing Champions Cup.
I'm trying to see if I can figure out. Ooh, Kona Panis, dead DFL.
Yeah.
And then she 999'd.
She ended up having shoulder issues. So she dropped out. And then I saw an Instagram photo or post saying that she was suffering, I don't know if it's tendonitis or something in her shoulder. And Seth Muncie actually was able to hook her up with a personal, physical therapist. She got some cupping done on her shoulder, but she will not be participating at Champions Cup.
Okay.
From what I understood.
It wasn't a great showing for the first round, but it wasn't like irredeemable for her first round. But yeah, but a 999, that's not medical. I thought 888 was medical. So
we just had this conversation the other day.
Yeah,
with
we looked it up. I can't remember what it was. Well, nevertheless, maybe it was the opposite way around. So.
Maybe.
Okay, so we'll get back to, so it was Tatar and then looky Sarah Holcomb, which is awesome.
She had a sweet throw in for Eagle. I forgot how far it was. It was like 100 and some feet out, and she just dead chains and like had this little dance and everything going on.
That's great.
Very Sarah Holcomb of her.
Yeah. Well, because she kind of volleys back and forth now between FP40 and FBO now.
Yep.
So, yeah, good for her. And then Hannah.
People were saying
Hoina.
her last name's Win, but I'm not sure if that's even it. Could be.
Yeah.
She's I haven't listened to it. She was on Smashbox last night. I haven't listened. So I'm curious to listen to it and actually see if Terry and Johnny pronounce her name correctly.
Yeah, figure that one out.
I'll listen to it tomorrow.
All right. Yeah, and then she had... And then Owen Scoggins behind it, Jessica Weiss, Emma Beach, and then Ella Hansen. Mm-hmm. So I had Ella in second. I had Holland winning. No, I had Tatar winning. And I had Holland in second. And then
I think we all had... Maybe Ben was the only person that didn't have Tatar winning. Ben came up with some picks that I was like...
He did. They were... Because he picked... No, you picked Tati, right?
No.
Tati. Okay.
I thought I had Own somewhere.
He picked Shoe. Or was that you that picked Shoe?
I think he picked Shoe.
Okay.
Tatar, I think I picked.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot who the other person was.
Fish.
No, I picked Henna.
You did pick Henna.
Yeah, he picked Fish.
Yeah, he picked Fish, and you.
Or maybe that was the week before. I forgot. Yeah, I picked Henna.
Yeah. So, I won in that one. I picked better than you guys did.
Yeah. Shoot, I don't remember who I picked. Yeah. I could have sworn maybe I did pick Dickerson, but Dickerson. Yeah.
As far as your male picks, I think you did. I think I had him up there. No, I did not have him up
James Proctor, I think I picked.
Yes, you did. You did. So, yeah, there you go. So those are the results. So that was kind of convoluted and crazy. But,
yeah. But this happened at the same course as the college
disc golf championships.
Disc golf championships.
Yep. Yeah. All right.
North Cove, is that what it is? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, some of the OB lines were nuts on that course. I was watching some of the disc golf championship. I mean, the disc golf college disc golf.
Yeah,
it was crazy. I like that layout. Like, I think Foundation did a practice round.
Yes, they did it with
somebody. One team. I don't remember who it is, but I was watching them and like the way they played is it's interesting. It's very interesting. So. All right, well, let's get into our picks for Champions Cup. Let's see if I can pull that up pretty quickly here. I had it up, but then I accidentally closed it. So, and by the way, so I used to race BMX.
Yeah.
Way back in the day, and then did some flat landing, and everybody always has their freestyle bikes and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
One of my best friend Ralph, he called me, and he was like, "Shane, do you still have your dynos?" I was like, "Yeah, actually, I have both of them still." And then I remember, no, I gave one to the kid down the street when I was in college.
Okay.
And then he used it because he was starting to race. That was my racing bike, my VFR.
Okay.
And then he was like, "You still have your Air, right? Your Dyno Air?" And I was like, "Yeah." That was like my Flatliner, my freestyle bike. I go, "Yeah, that's for sure I have it because it's in pieces in the thing."
Okay.
I took it apart and I just never put it back together. And that's in my closet it's in my stepmother's closet. And he's like, "You should get that and put it back together." And I was like, "Really?" And so I looked up the price on the Dyno Airs.
Yeah.
12 G's.
What?
I bought it for $400. I worked my butt off an entire summer. I bought it for $400. It was like $399 or $370 something. Whoa. 12 G's.
Holy cow.
And I'm sure that's an unmolested,
oh, yeah.
But
right.
I was just like...
Unmolested.
Unmolested, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Putting it.
Don't judge me. Okay?
Gently touched.
Don't judge my kinks. All right. What is it, kink shaming? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I've heard that before.
I have too. I think I bought one off somebody back in the day for $100. Some kid had it. I was like, dude, I've always...
Was it a Dyno Air or a VFR?
No, I don't remember. It was just a VFR maybe. And, but they would jump it off the dock in Sister Bay.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's no lifeguard, so we would just ride it off the swim dock all the time.
Is it still down there?
No. No, I don't even know what happened to that anymore. I think I sold it to somebody else. And when I bought it, I was like, "Oh, sweet," but the crank was bad, and the
if you're putting it in the water, it is.
Yeah. So I'm sure from landing on it super hard, it got unbalanced and everything, but it was a sweet bike for what it was.
I had so many bikes. I was a collector back when collecting wasn't cool. I I think maybe 15 frame sets like in my backyard. And then I probably had 7 complete bikes, you know. And I would just like, I'd buy them from somebody, or somebody's like, see them in a garage sale, and you'd get them for like $4 or $5, you know. I had an old Diamondback diamond frame. It's an old steel bike. Like, it's a really super heavy bike, but I had it for a long, like, I actually got, this is when I lived in Miami, and I got kicked off my bike. Well, not kicked, like he pushed off my bike. So he grabbed my chain and then kicked me off my bike and then like lost that bike. I was like, come on.
My grandmama gave me that chain.
Why did you do that? So, all right. So we'll get into Champions Cup. I had it right here. Random tangent. All right. So basically our headliners, we got Paul Macbeth playing, Calvin Heimberg, Eagle McMahon, Gannon Burr, Chris Dickerson, Kyle Klein, Matteo, Lazat, Barella, so on and on. We're going in PDGA rankings. So what we will do is let's go ahead and pick. We'll start with the ladies. And we'll pick who we feel is going to be the person that comes on top. I don't believe that there is a question in my mind who is. So,
there could, I know.
I'll go ahead and put my picks in right now. I'm going to go with Tatar. You know, it's funny because now, like, it's such a jumble down at the bottom, or below that. Like, who knows who's going to do what?
Right.
You know, Paige Pierce, she says there's some injuries. We'll talk about them just here real shortly. And Champions Cup, where's that played? WR Jackson, right?
Yeah, I thought.
That's a fairly tight course.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say Own for 2, and then I'm going to stick with my girl Holland. I don't think this is her course. I think it's a bad pick, but I'm on it. I'm 100% behind her. She's my Paul Macbeth right now.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. I'm actually writing them down so we remember this.
Yeah. Good idea. Okay, I can't not pick Kristen number 1. I just have that feeling. Number 2 is somebody who had a really good last round there. I'm going to take Katrina Allen.
Okay.
Her final round was really good last year. Number 3, goodness, that's really hard to.
There's so many people that can be there.
Yeah,
there's so many.
Crazy.
The FPO field is fantastic as far as competition goes.
It is.
For second place.
You know, yeah. I'm gonna say Missy Gannon.
Okay.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That was my thought. If I wouldn't be stubborn with Holland, that's who my choice would have been.
And because here's what it is right now. It's easily Kristen Tatar at like God tier level right now.
Yeah.
And then under that, it's a crapshoot, right? Like there are people who have consistently played well, been in like top 10, but those people float so much within the top 10 that you're like, okay, any given week, like Owen's been fairly steady, but even Owen this year, not having the season she did last year, like maybe she overachieved a little.
Yeah.
But she's still Owen and still good at putting and everything. So
and she doesn't need big distance. You need accuracy and putting on this course. I mean, you need some distance, but Owen has the appropriate amount of distance.
Yeah.
So all right, on to the men. All right. I'll let you go first on this one.
Okay. I am going to pick. This is going to be crazy. Third place, I'm going to take Simon.
Oh, good choice. That's funny.
Well, that's funny?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I have mine picked already.
Okay. Second place, I'm going to say Kyle Klein.
Okay. Ooh, the DD boys, huh? The new Crush boys?
No, I mean, Simon's not on DD, or Simon's not on Disc Mania.
No, well, Kyle Klein's a new Crush Boy.
Yeah, they kind of did away with the Crush Boys thing.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah. And I'm tempted for Gannon, but even Gannon kind of admits that he doesn't play well in the woods. So I'm going to go with Heimberg.
Heimberg,
I think
choice.
I'm hoping he gets his first major here. Did you know that Gannon is the only person in the last 365 days to win a major, win an Elite Series, and win a Silver Series?
Really?
I saw that on Statmando today.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think the only person that has more wins than him in the last calendar year is Simon with 5, and he has 4.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Pretty crazy.
this is going to be a pick that is controversial because he hasn't really done anything this year.
Paul McBeth?
Paul McBeth.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick him because he is, when it comes to these Elite Series things, he always finds a way.
Yeah.
It's this weird thing. And so he's going to be my number 1. Burr is number 2. Simon's 3.
Okay.
Is where I'm going to go. I am really, really like kind of going back and forth.
For my dark horse pick, just to make Ben happy, I'm picking Joel Freeman.
Yes, good choice. Yeah. I'll take a dark horse pick of Brody Smith.
Ooh, the dark horse.
Yeah. The dark horse
The
for
dark
my
horse.
dark horse pick, and that's for Tyler. If you're listening still, Tyler, you're welcome. So there's this running joke about how I think Brody Smith is always going to be top 10.
Yeah.
And I was called out today, and I said, yep, you are right. He is definitely not doing well this year, but he's number 10 in my heart for sure.
Well,
He's actually not doing that bad.
No, I was going to say he's not.
But he's not top 10.
Oh, he has a top 10 at Texas State. That's the last time. But he's cashed. I mean, he's cashed in a lot of events. He's only missed 1 cash, and that was at Music City. Otherwise, he's cashed in every event.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good. So what's his ranking right now? Is he rankless right now?
I'm not.
You don't have that up? Well, as we're talking
he's
about...
He's rated 1024 as of right now, but I don't see
He doesn't have a world ranking.
Not in the top 25.
Okay. So we'll talk about world rankings. On world rankings, new number 1 in the house, and we can debate this, Gannon Burr is the new number 1 right now.
Yes.
And Paul McBeth fell down to 5th behind Simon.
Yep.
So they put Burr, Wysocki, Heimberg, Simon, and then Paul.
Yeah.
Is how the order goes.
This is according to UDisc.
According to UDisc, yes.
Yeah. So there's about 4 different people that put out their world rankings, which is kind of crazy because Statmando currently has Simon and Kristen number 1, but their power rankings have Gannon 1 and Kristen 1. And then Ultiworld has their world rankings still has Paul at number 1, Ricky 2, Simon or Calvin, Gannon, Matty O at 5.
They're going completely by PDJ rankings.
Chris Dickerson, okay.
Because I
Kyle Klein, yeah. That's their current world rankings. And then FPO is Kristen, Owen, Katrina, Missy, Paige dropped down to 5, Hannah, and that's it. But then there's this new composite, which compiles, according to Ultiworld, which compiles all 4 different. So they compile Statmando, Ultiworld, or WD? Statmando, PDJ, UDisc, and then WDG or something like that. And so the composite is Ricky at number 1, Calvin 2, Gannon 3, Paul 4, Simon 5, Dickerson, Klein, Matty O, Joel Freeman, and then Isaac Robinson round out the top 10. FPO is, excuse me, Kristen, Katrina, Paige, Missy, Owen, Valerie Mondahano, who hasn't played, Hannah, Natalie Ryan at 8, Holland Hanley, and Evelina.
Well, Natalie hasn't played either.
She played the Throw Down the Mountain.
Right, yep.
Which was an A tier. So That's interesting to me.
It is. Yeah. Well, and I think both, like, Ricky has been out too. So you look at the MPO side. Yeah, that's just strange to me. That composite ranking just doesn't seem.
Yeah, I don't get it. And Natalie is actually on Ulti-World's world ranking, just theirs. She's sitting at 12th.
Really?
Yep. She hasn't moved within the last. So they must use a longer, more, encapsulates a full year.
Yeah.
It's not like fluid moving up and down as much. So, I mean, she did have, 2 Elite Series wins last year?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, that counts for something, I guess.
I mean, I would put her that's solidly inside the top 10 last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, she just hasn't played. I mean,
Right.
and no fault of her own, or however you look at it, it is or isn't. But she hasn't played this year, so yeah, it's hard to. And that's the same thing with Ricky. Like,
Yeah.
like how do you keep him up in the top as well? So any of these rankings that have Ricky up there, like, come on,
Yeah.
like how can you? I understand there's a certain recency bias that has to be ignored. But I mean, we're 6 episodes into? I mean, 6 episodes, 6 tournaments into the season, 7 tournaments into the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're almost a quarter way done already.
Yeah, so like, there's no recency bias in what the season has had to offer us this year.
No.
So as far as world rankings go, it should be pretty simple, and I think UDisc has probably one of the more accurate ones, in my humble opinion.
They use that weird, was it dominance?
Yeah, dominance
index?
scale. Yeah.
I still don't understand it really, but if you look at if you were to go to head with people that in tournaments that they've played this year, I mean, obviously Ricky dropped out of Waco, and so yeah, that should bump them down, in my opinion. And then obviously you have Gannon, like the people that are ahead of him currently should be like Gannon, should be Calvin, it should be Dickerson, Kyle Kleinman, like those kind of people. I mean, he's had 2 pretty decent finishes for coming back from injury, or it was Vimes for a flare up, but not enough to keep him at number 1.
No, definitely not. And yeah, that's a hard stretch for me. So we'll speak specifically more about Gannon. So I know that you and I don't know if Ben was involved in this one or not, but we had the episode about Gannon Burr being the next $1 million player.
Yes,
And
Ben was involved with it. We were talking about because we were bringing up Eagle, Gannon. There's a couple other people that we brought up who should be the next $1 million.
Yeah. So
contract.
there's no you can't hide the fact that I am a big fan of Gannon Burr, and I think he is the next $1 million player. And I think, Prodigy just won't pay that. And someone who's willing to, and I think this is where this whole thing comes from. So with that being said, it doesn't surprise me that Gannon Burr is at number 1.
No, I'm surprised that this Silver Series win pushed him to number 1, though.
Yeah, because it's not within that Elite Series or DGPT series.
But,
I mean, it is a GGPT.
Yeah,
but
I did say, like, he does have, within the calendar year of, he has 4 wins. Simon has 5.
Yeah.
I think Calvin maybe has 4 as well. He had Jonesboro, something else last year, and then.
But Burr's average finish this year is better than Lazat's.
Right.
And Heimberg, he doesn't have. He has 1 this year.
He has.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He has 1.
Oh yeah.
I think this year.
Yeah.
So, and outside of that, like, he's pretty consistent in his finish. So I would say you could argue Heimberg or Burr. I don't know if you can put Simon into that conversation yet, as far as number 1. I think you could put him in a solid number 2, but or
I could put him anywhere from 2 to 5.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
And as far as Paul being down in the number 5 spot, pretty fair. I think it's pretty fair.
I think so. Paul's not having a Paul season so far.
Yeah. It's not a bad season. He's just not having a Paul season.
Yeah, but that could all change this weekend. And,
exactly. Exactly.
I mean, he's still.
Hence my pick.
besides Manabu Kajiyama, who's like 1051. We don't see him on the tour, so Paul's still top-rated tour player.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. But so this morning, I was just like on Facebook, and Jomez Pro has posted something. It was for the practice round, and they have Gannon on the practice round, and they brought up Big Germ and Yuli were talking about him being number one in the world. He's like, oh, as of today, you're number one, and even he agrees. He's like, okay, I'm number one, but I don't feel like I should be number one right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean,
he doesn't have a U.S. championship. He doesn't have a Worlds. He
has U.S. DGC.
Oh, he does have. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I lied.
He did. I mean, it's an X tier.
Yeah,
X tier major. So that's kind of a weird.
But it's still
thing.
one of the pinnacles in our sport.
It is.
Like those are the two that you look for to see. I mean, Champions Cup is getting there because of the money, but I don't know if it's a prestige thing. Like
Not yet.
Worlds and U.S.
Right. I mean, this is only the second year, so it could grow to be that.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, you can argue it, but good for him. And I think, unfortunately, what's happening is that's driving the price of Prodigy's buyout up. So he will be with Prodigy for the rest of the season until his contract is up.
Do you think it happened faster than most people thought it would happen?
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we can't really speak on this until the end of the season, but I would assume that most people would have said 24, 25.
Sure.
That he would have been the most dominant player.
Well, I don't know. It's funny because dominant is iffy.
Right. He's not dominant right now.
No.
Yeah. But he is, I think he is.
Consistency has kind of helped him get where he needs to be. I think you will see points where he could be dominant, but
you think about the way that people grow and how bodies mature, how your coordination starts to peak. And it's not when you're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 even.
Right. For males, it's higher than that.
It's like 24, 25 as you hit your athletic peak. Even some people even go on into their 30s. Like they're right in that, starting of your 30s range. That's a little more rare, but anywhere between 22 to like 29 or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor. These are not, but these are things that kind of you see. The pinnacle of athletes are always in that range unless you're like Tom Brady, who's like 95 and still throwing darts.
I mean, it's because, and they've got nutritionists and athletic trainers helping them out.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
So the only direction I see Burr going is up, aside barring a act of God. Some sort of catastrophic injury that's going to stop him. Or Prodigy. A lawsuit, some sort of act of God that's going to stop him. So, because he's only going to get better from this point. So, yes, I think it happened quicker than people thought because I think people were like, oh, he's going to mature and then it's going to be really awesome. Like, dude still has inches to grow. That's nuts. But maybe not. Maybe he's one of those he's already hit this because I was like 12 years old and that was my size. And then never grew after that. So, I'm excited for him. I'm happy for him. So, anything else to say about that?
No, but controversial maybe, but he earned it. So whatever.
Absolutely. So we'll see. We'll see within the next, probably 3 more tournaments. And then they'll usually reproduce another one after the rankings. After the ratings go. So there you go. So Paige, this is yours. So go for it.
Yeah. So I was just scrolling through this morning on social media and
the
interwebs. Yeah. And they had the press conferences for Champions Cup today, and Paige Pierce was talking about she took time off and she came back and it sounded like Brian Earhart was interviewing her. I couldn't tell who it was, but he asked her about competing, and she had mentioned that apparently she has some tendonitis, probably an elbow or something. Yeah. And that she's kind of going against doctors' orders to compete.
Okay.
Paige, I mean, she's got one win this year. Not really. I mean, she's kind of been up and down, taking time off here and there, and
not in playing Paige.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd risk it.
I don't think so either, but she's got her money. I don't think it's a money thing. I think it's a pride thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, it's a big paycheck.
It is. It's
a big paycheck.
But if who's to say what could happen? It's speculation of, okay, this could get worse, and then all of a sudden it develops into something bigger, and then you're needing surgery or extensive physical therapy to fix it, and then you're taking more time off of the tour.
Yeah.
This.
Tennis elbow, it sounds fun when you say tennis elbow because it's primarily an older person's, injury.
It is.
Ailment, but it is a very serious thing in disc golf.
Well, isn't that what happened to Jordan?
I think so.
Isn't that what he said?
So.
Like he was playing Skyline, and what was the other one this weekend that he played? I don't know. He played 2 tournaments this weekend, and he said that he got injured during, I think, the second tournament. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because like pulling through when you release, you feel that.
Yeah, that's all of it. Yeah. And I know I don't remember how many years ago it was, but he had some real issues with his elbow, And I've known many other people that have had elbow issues with. And didn't Paul have an elbow issue for a while too, where he kind of had to wear a sleeve? And Simon had a huge
obviously.
Elbow issue.
Eagle,
those are big issues.
Yeah,
those are big issues. So making sure that you take care of those things, I mean, it's vital because it's without that hinge, you can't throw a disc.
Right. I mean, it's altered the way Simon's playing, but I think you could say it changed it for the better.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, because he's not going nuts like he normally did. Although we love seeing that, but. He does it every once in a while. Yeah. And it's usually when he's not in cash or not worried about winning.
Right.
So, yeah. So, I mean, hopefully she takes it. I can't say one way or the other. I mean, if I was in that situation.
I mean, she's chasing majors. I mean, she's in that position where if she wins it. Yeah. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, says the guy that got a cortisone shot before Vegas. Just so I could play because I was in so much pain. I don't know.
That's the thing too. Pain's your pain tolerance, your threshold, that's all relative to who you are.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. Yeah. So maybe this is like a owie boo boo. And maybe it's not something very serious. Or maybe it's like something super serious and she has a super high threshold.
Yeah.
You just don't know. Only she does. And she's going to make the choice that she feels is the best option for her. So, but good luck. I hope she doesn't hurt herself anymore because, I mean, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Paige, but the game with Paige is better.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, anything else to say about that?
Nope. Nothing else.
Okay. Are we going to do a Monday after this?
We could.
Okay. I think I have something to talk about for Monday.
Oh, super. Okay, good.
Yeah, so look forward to our Monday episode. We will have that as well. And then we'll talk about our shop updates. So I'm going to do a large MVP order. I know glitches and proxies and the new Simon commemorative and all that stuff. We got the approval to order away today, so we will get ordering on those. There are some limits, so we'll have to stay on those. But as far as glitches, it's kind of like I'm going to buy as many as we can and can't afford because it's amazing how many we sell. And then as far as that, we don't really have anything else coming in. The only thing we have is, like I said, the Casaplast, the Grim X, and the Cax and the Stig drop. By the time you listen to this, they will have dropped. They'll probably be gone, but check out the site, doordis.com. And I don't think there's anything else. So we've had a slew of basket purchases. So we had a bunch of baskets.
Really?
All of our baskets are gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. People are like, hey, I need
the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's good.
That is good.
It's a good
That's
thing.
cool.
So I'm debating whether I want to buy the black holes or the chain star lights or the recruit lights. I'm going back and forth of which ones I want to buy.
Yeah.
Last ones we had were the recruit lights with the carrier thingies.
Yeah. I think you can get the black hole
the carriers,
lights with the bag and everything.
Okay.
And they have some that there's the lights, and I think there's Light Pro with different chains.
Yes,
the chain is yep.
Yeah. So maybe I'll do that. We'll see what prices look like and all that stuff. And because I know the chain star lights are probably some of my favorite entry level baskets. Yeah. They're really good baskets. The recruit lights, they're okay.
I would say that. I have one. Mm-hmm. The thing about it though, super easy to break down.
Super easy
to unscrew, put together. That's great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have it in the basement. I'm not putting it outside because I don't.
Yeah, you don't know how they'd hold up to the weather.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see I don't know how good the chains are. Like I could see those rusting really easy.
But also you have mechanical joints too, and I bet you those would rust and things like that
They could,
too.
but yeah, there's no bolts. That's the like with
No,
the
just the one.
yeah, everything just screws together. So
Yeah. So we'll see. You know, and the black holes. Like I have a black hole, the small one. Like
okay,
it's like the marksman.
yeah,
I don't remember which one that's called.
I don't know
like
what it's called
black hole,
either.
whatever. I have one of those, and it wasn't great outside.
Okay.
So I worry about buying black holes because I don't want to say, yeah, these are great, and then they like rust to heck. you
Sure.
know? And I know the chain stars, they'll be fine for a couple of years, but that one did it like quick. You know. So, and that's been a long time since I bought one of those MVPs.
I mean, when I was going online to look at buying the Recruit or the Chain Starlight, because I was like, oh, I have credit at the store, or I have like a ton of Amazon gift cards at the time.
Yeah.
And like the Chain Starlight still gets, or the Black Hole still gets really good reviews.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, then maybe we'll do that because we haven't had the black holes in yet. So
Okay.
we'll give those a try, and then if it works, and they come in pretty decent. No, they're just black.
there's black, and then Axiom makes a basket, kind of like the Black Hole lights.
Okay.
And those are in different colors. There's like a lime green, there's a red, there's a
Okay,
blue.
then maybe I'll do that direction because I know that people like seeing the different colors.
Yeah.
So
Man,
all right.
I wish I have a blue Recruit light in the basement. And I'm looking at it sometimes, I'm like, oh, I should have gotten black, because like it's not like it's an eye strain, but like focusing a little bit is
I bet
weird.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but
Do you get that way if you play on colored baskets, like if they're like
no, because I don't
odd
have
color? The veterans at
yeah, that's what I was just thinking of. I don't have problems with those.
okay
for whatever
so just
reason.
something weird in that lighting or
Yeah,
that atmosphere.
it's probably my basement lighting, which isn't
Okay.
the brightest, along with the blue, and like
Yeah.
I have it up against this weird. I have it up against a mattress, so
Okay.
I don't like bang into it. But I think it's the pattern of the mattress too, kind of like
Sure.
makes it like I can't see the top band release. Something weird.
Yeah, I had a throwing net that I used to have behind my practice baskets. Now I just have them outside, but when I had them inside, I had like a throwing net behind it. And that played weird too, because like of all the crisscross patterns that's behind it, it was kind of weird. But you end up getting used to it after
Yeah.
a certain amount of time. So, all right. Well, I don't think there's much else. I don't even have the OnlyFans joke because we're. All right. Well, I guess outside of that, anything you want to leave with?
Just be kind, subscribe, rate us, and review us if you
I thought you were
can.
going to say be kind and rewind.
Be kind, rewind the episode. Yeah, that's a great movie too.
Yeah, it is. It is. That is a good movie.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah. Rate the episode. Jump on. Just tell your friends. Do all that fun stuff.
and be on the lookout for the casual relief moving
To their own feed.
to their own feed in the future.
Yep.
So follow them. I mean, they won't have a separate Instagram or anything. We'll still be promoting them on social media through Door Disc Golf and Night Owls Pod and everything. So don't have to worry about anything new for them unless they want to. I don't.
Yeah. Exactly. So, with all that being said, keep it subpar and peace.